more than 120 crypto and blockchain entities pressed Senate banking leaders to move the Clarity Act toward markup. The crypto group's urge angle matters because the pressure is about turning broad support into actual legislative movement. The tension is whether market structure bill turns into a durable change or simply a sharp data point. That is why the first read should stay close to the confirmed numbers, 120 plus signers, House Pass 2025, and the immediate checkpoint around markup date open. For a regulatory story, the practical effect is timing and access. Who must comply, what gets restricted, and which rule or order changes behavior. The reason to keep watching is that the next checkpoint can change the meaning of the first move. The confirmed frame is that the bill passed the House in July 2025, but Senate progress has stalled around timing, staffing, funding, and stablecoin yield disputes. The key baseline details are Coinbase and Kraken, which give the story scale without requiring speculation. This scene grounds the viewer before the mechanism takes over. If the baseline changes, the rest of the story changes with it, because the consequence depends on whether those confirmed details keep holding. The most important baseline split is between what is already visible and what still needs confirmation from the next public signal. That scope keeps the segment focused on the mechanism that actually changes outcomes. Most people arrive after the move is obvious and the easy upside is gone. We focus on serious crypto education and high-quality signals before the crowd rushes in, so you can understand the setup earlier and move sooner. If you want that edge, visit the link below now. The structure matters because a markup would let lawmakers formally amend the bill, expose the unresolved policy fights, and move the framework closer to a vote. That is the working engine behind Crypto Group's urge, and it explains why the event cannot be read only as a surface move. In this case, the mechanism connects 120 plus signers with markup date open. When that connection weakens, the story becomes less about the initial number and more about whether the system, market, or policy process can absorb stress. That mechanism is the reason a viewer should watch process quality, not just the largest number in the story. The pressure reaches exchanges, custody firms, stablecoin issuers, and banks need the bill's definitions to plan licensing and compliance. For viewers, the useful question is who actually has to react: users, traders, issuers, regulators, operators, or institutions. Here, Clarity Act sits at the center of that reaction, while Crypto Coalition shapes the next practical step. The consequence is strongest where the event changes access, trust, liquidity, compliance planning, or the cost of making a decision. That makes the impact measurable through behavior, not through hype around the topic. What is not proven yet is no new markup date has been publicly set, and a May window has been discussed without a final schedule. That limit matters because the confirmed facts do not automatically prove the most aggressive interpretation. The safer split is to treat House Pass 2025 as established context, while leaving the unresolved part open until a stronger signal appears. That keeps the story useful without turning a partial data point into a conclusion. The open point should remain separate from the confirmed facts until a filing, market move, patch, data release, or official action closes the gap. If later evidence changes the read, the story should adjust around that evidence. Most people arrive after the move is obvious and the easy upside is gone. We focus on serious crypto education and high-quality signals before the crowd rushes in, so you can understand the setup earlier and move sooner. If you want that edge, visit the link below now. The move to track is the next signal is whether Senate banking schedules markup and how stablecoin yield language changes. For Crypto Group's urge, that is the point where the story either gains confirmation or stays stuck as an unresolved market, policy, security, or adoption question. The practical readout is to follow markup date open alongside the supporting details, stablecoin yield and 120 plus signers. If that next signal arrives, the story moves. If it does not, the only confirmed position is the one already visible in the evidence. The viewer should leave with one concrete checkpoint, not a prediction about where the market or policy process must go.